Today I want us to study something in Proverbs that is closely connected to the issue of laziness, and that's the issue of self-control. The issue of self-control. Here's the connection. Doing what needs to be done when it needs to be done requires self-control. We learned that the sluggard lacks the self-control to resist the urge to nap. And so instead of doing the work that needs to be done, he sleeps. He gives himself to rest. So we read in Proverbs 24, verses 33 through 34, it says, a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come upon you like a robber. The expression of his laziness is that he's not willing to control himself and deny himself sleep. And so sleep overtakes his life and keeps him from doing the work that needs to be done. And so that leads to financial poverty. So as I thought about that, I began to ask myself the question this week, what are the things that I'm tempted to do instead of what I should be doing? I'll be honest with you, sleeping is not the primary thing that I'm tempted to do instead of the good work God's called me to do. And so I just started asking myself the question, what is that for me? Where do I waste time? What do I fill my time with that crowds out that more important activity that has eternal value? In other words, where do I need greater self-control? And so I asked the Lord this question. You know what the Lord said to me? Well, actually, I didn't get to hear what the Lord had to say to me, because right at that moment as I was praying, I realized that I had not checked my email for like 3 minutes. And so I went and checked my email, and I'd gotten an email from a friend who sent me a link to this Christian blog with an article. And so I went and I read this article, which was really good, and I felt really edified. And there was another link in that to another article which I read, and when I read that one, it made me think of this really insightful thing that I could tweet. And so I went over to Twitter, and I tweeted. And then I was looking on the side, and they have like the list of trending topics that people are twittering about. And one of them was Jay Leno, and I haven't really seen Jay Leno's new show. And so I went to his website, and there were clips that you could watch of the show. And there was this one clip of him interviewing Kanye West, where Kanye West was feeling bad for having interrupted, what's her name? Taylor Swift, thank you. On that award show, and so I watched that, and as I was watching that, I realized I have not checked my Facebook page for a while either. So I went to Facebook, and really, if you think about it, Facebook is practically fellowship if you're reading the walls of other Christian people. I don't know if you've ever thought about this. Maybe that's a stretch. You know, it's like fellowship, except you don't talk to anybody. You just look at pictures of them, and you read what they're saying to other people, which is actually more like stalking, but let's not even worry about that. So I didn't mean to spend much time on Facebook, but there were these really interesting pictures of a friend's barbecue that happened a couple weeks ago. So I went through there, and then before I left, I thought it would be really useful if I found out which character from The Princess Bride I most like. And so I did this little quiz, and it was actually annoying because it said that I was that little mean guy, and that's so wrong. It's inconceivable, really. So then I realized I've not seen A Princess Bride for a long time, so I went over to Netflix, and you know, they actually it's one of the movies you can stream. You can stream it live anytime you want, which, praise the Lord for that. That's a blessing. What was I talking about? Self-control. I think I'm doing good with self-control. I think I'm doing pretty good. Or maybe not. Or maybe not. Now, in all seriousness, when I prayed about this issue, Lord, what distracts me? What pulls me away from what I know you want me to be doing? Where do I lack self-control? You know, the areas that God brought to mind were all connected to media, to the internet, to the new technology that we enjoy, which is a great blessing and great things can happen from it. In the testimony from the baptism, I thought it was so cool that Philip Royer had reached out to Elaine through Facebook. What a great use of a new technology. And yet, as I was just praying about, Lord, where do I need more self-control? It just felt like the Spirit was pressing in on me. This is the place. And I don't think I'm the only person. I don't think I'm the only person. I think a lot of us could rephrase Proverbs 24, verses 33 and 34, and it could read a little web surfing, a little Facebook, a little folding of the hands around your smartphone, and spiritual poverty will come upon you like a robber. I want to take some time today to together think about self-control.